What's up, everybody, and welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Bosley. You can find me on Twitter at ArtisticGamer28. That's the one and the only. It is Scott Savage. You can find him on Twitter at Savage. Scott, happy Wednesday. Dude, it's not the weekend.
No, it's funny. I messed you up by waking up going, what day is it? Oh, no.
It's not the weekend.
We're back on track.
That's right. Yeah. Not quite the weekend yet, but on the weekend comes our good friends at Covenant House with main mission charity stream. So let's take a look. It's the ultimate Easter egg, a streaming campaign like no other, a mission with the goal to change lives in real life. I challenge you to join me on the main mission, a charity stream campaign to raise funds for Covenant House. From March 7th to April 1st, we welcome everyone to join this fundraising mission to benefit youth who are homeless, trafficked, or at risk. The campaign will feature prizes, giveaways, and big surprises. And on April 2nd, we join forces with some of the biggest content creators and gamers to raise maximum funds. Help us change the game. Can we count you in? That's right, this Saturday, April 2nd at noon Eastern, we'll be live with Covenant House and their main mission charity stream. You can go to twitch.tv/Covenant House TO, where you can join in the festivities, help donate and support a great cause. We'll be giving away games, and we have some fantastic streamers helping us out throughout the day. Scott, coming up on today's show, are you ready for this? It happened. Another very big game has been delayed. Well, it didn't really have an official release date, but we'll talk about that. Rumors are floating around about a Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order 2 showcase. And Diablo IV will have just a few dungeons for you to explore.
Oh, it's not coming to mobile?
Ting, ting, ting.
I'll never forget that.
Shots fired. No, I don't think anybody will. Man, wow. People
Especially
were not
not
impressed.
the poor man on the stage.
Oh, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, really? That's low. That is low. But dude, let's get into it. Let's go. It's Nintendo has delayed The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 to spring 2023. Scott, are you surprised?
No, not particularly, because we hadn't had an exact date pinned down before. I think we only had the year mentioned, 2022, maybe. But after a year of hearing nothing about it, well, it didn't seem very likely. Sorry, Corey. I think that was his most anticipated game of 21 or 22, rather.
I think you're correct there. This comes from Tom Ivan over at VGC. The Nintendo Switch game has previously scheduled to arrive in 2022. Quote, we previously announced that we were aiming for a 2022 release for this game. Zelda producer AJ Anamuna said in a video update released on Tuesday, just yesterday, Scott. However, he says, we have decided to extend our development time a bit and change the release to spring 2023. For those of you who have been looking forward to a release this year, we apologize. As previously announced, the adventure in this sequel will take place not just on the ground as the previous game, but also in the skies above. However, the expanded worlds go beyond that, and there will be an even wider variety of features you can enjoy, including new encounters and new gameplay elements. In order to make this experience... We'll get there, Scott. In order to make this game's experience something special, the entire development team is continuing to work diligently on this game. So please wait a while longer. Scott, 2023 spring, we got a whole year to go now, my friend. What are you thinking about this?
Well, it's a case of Zelda can take as long as it really wants.
Yeah, that's fair.
One of the few franchises where I want to see them take their time, put it all together, and not just kick it out the door. Because although it's Zelda, you could get away with one of those because of the brand name.
Sure,
it's just it's holy scripture for Nintendo. You cannot mess that up.
Yeah, but absolutely.
As Shigeru Miyamoto once put it, a delayed game is eventually good. A rushed game is forever bad. And well, who else do you listen to when it comes to a Nintendo launch? And I'm excited by what these little tidbits of information, though. I think this might be the most information we've gotten so far on the game. We're not certain that it's a Breath of the Wild 2 by title, just that it is, of course, after that game. But The going to the sky, that sounds interesting. We saw that in Skyloft and Skyward Sword, but going beyond that gives me the idea of the Dark World, which they've gone to in 2, maybe 3 games if you count Ocarina.
Okay, that's fair, dude. This is
where new gameplay elements come up, and that's the well. I played A Link Between Worlds. They kind of did a Dark World thing. It was when you get into this kind of world building, as long as they get creative in a smart way, you can really extend that experience.
I'm excited for the game. I'm not the biggest Zelda guy. Clearly, we all know that. You and Nate are very big into this, and so is Corey. Being Corey's probably most anticipated game of this year. Now just got bumped, so that's pretty unfortunate, but it's understandable. Now going back to the quote, though, Scott. Nowadays, because of the internet and technology, things can change. And I brought this up yesterday. You and I were talking off camera. No bigger story in my eyes than No Man's Sky has come around from a deficit of a disastrous launch, and now you look at the longevity of that game and how that's really taken off. Now, does Nintendo do that here with Zelda? No, absolutely not. Right? Can you imagine Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 coming out just like No Man's Sky did when it launched? Like that would no, right?
No. It's just like if it's anything on a live service, then that's the final nail in the coffin, really.
Yeah, no, this is a single player game. They're heavily focused on it, and I think they're going to come out crushing it. If they got to delay it, dude, another 2 years, by all means. Maybe then we'll have the Switch 2.
That's what everybody's talking about online right now. Does this mean that will line up better with the Switch, the Super Switch?
My goodness.
Well, that would be a good time, as good a time as any.
Well, I think if they really want to push that game into the next generation, because we talk about it all the time, how Nintendo is so outdated with the rest of the world when it comes to their platform. Yeah, it's one of the greatest games. The Switch had a movement within itself, Scott. There's no doubt about that, right? I love the Switch, but you can definitely feel the weight now of the newer games coming out that can't physically run on that platform, and it's such a challenge. And I wonder now moving forward, does this give the team time to bring this over to the Switch 2 or whatever, the Super Switch or whatever, Switch Pro, whatever you want to call the next Switch, because we clearly need another Switch, something that's more powerful. When they announced the OLED Switch, that was not exactly what anybody was kind of wanting, right?
It's a good opportunity. Not quite fully realized, but
no, exactly.
I don't want to see the hardware hold back what the game could be as we progress through the 20s, which sounds weird to say still, but when you progress through that and we're not getting a hardware change, how good could the game actually be? And although I don't question it at this point, it's going to get worse of a predicament the further we get through the years.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to struggle more to be able to run smoother and run just at a higher quality than what the game could be at versus where it's stuck. Well, do you think, okay, here's the other side of it then, Scott.
You can hold 4K back. That's fine. But I'm thinking in terms of building, render distance, all that.
That's absolutely right. The potential of moving into the next generation of the Switch is huge. But do they launch it on both platforms? Do they keep it for both? Do they do the Horizon Forbidden West where you put it on PS4 and PS5?
That could work really well. They did that with Breath of the Wild, the first one. It came out on Wii U, where I own it and forget about it often, and then it came out on Switch.
Right.
But I'm hoping one last thought on this Zelda. I hope first thing we hear from Link, because he's voice acted now, "Excuse me, princess." Oh, that would be so awful. It would just work.
There you go, Scott. What might work is Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order 2 will be showcased at the Star Wars Celebration in May. That I'm definitely pumped for. This is come from Michael Hardens over at PSU. Jeff Grubb has claimed that Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order 2 will 100% be showcased during the Star Wars Celebration in May. This ties with the previous comments from Grubb in January, where he said that we should expect to hear about the game in a significant way before E3, with May a possible reveal window. Dude, that makes total sense. May the 4th be with everybody.
May the 4th. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Otherwise, I always bring it up. Revenge of the 5th is also acceptable, but I would prefer the 4th.
Grubb also said that the video will likely be released. It says the video. Dude, the game will be released in early 2023. So we'll have maybe Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 and Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order 2 in the same year.
Competing with Cal Kestis.
That's dude, you space those out well enough, I think we're okay.
Yeah, no, they don't compete along the same. Although a beam sword has been used once in Zelda, it's not a normal thing.
There you go. Dude, how excited are you for the next Star Wars? Did you play Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order 1?
Oh, yes. I really liked number 1, and I don't agree that it's got that Dark Souls touch. I think that's kind of a lazy explanation nowadays. But what it did with the kind of worlds you can hop around between and the open nature of it all, oh, that was exactly what I wanted out of Star Wars.
It really changed the formula up a lot, I thought.
In fact, if they could drop Star Wars licensing to BioWare and we get a Mass Effect type game out of Star Wars, oh, that could rival KOTOR.
Oh man, can you imagine having decisions actually like matter? Well, we talk about it with Quantic Dream, and that studio over there making Eclipse, right? They're working on Star Wars Eclipse, one of the biggest studios around, with decisions that weigh in on the experience of your game, right? Like, dude, some of the best games are from that studio when it comes to decision making, because every decision has a reaction of some sort, right? Whether it's good or bad.
Very emotional too.
Absolutely. So I'm pumped to see when that's going to be, but we're definitely going to get Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order 2 before we get that one. Without a doubt. But Diablo 4 to offer 150 dungeons, new regions, and locations showcase. This comes from Nathan Birch at WCCF Tech. Another season has almost come to a close, which means it's time for another Blizzard quarterly Diablo 4 development update. Scott, have you checked this out at all?
No, not specifically. I saw word of it, but Diablo is not something I've been super into, other than Diablo 2 Spin to Win Barbarian.
What is that?
Spin to win. You get one ability that you put all your points into. You just spin around the map, doing everything. It's cheese, but it's from my friend who showed me the same cheese. He comes up with stuff in Elder Ring, Dark Souls. It's that guy.
I know who you're talking about. Yep, Cheeseball himself.
Brian out there, if you ever see. Oh yeah, he's the master of cheese.
This is a fairly meaty one, as Blizzard delves into details regarding Diablo 4's open world and dungeons with plenty of supporting videos. Definitely check those out. Diablo 4 will feature a fully open world version of Sanctuary that will allow you to seamlessly explore from coast to coast. The world will feature 5 major regions, as well as towns, smaller biomes, etc. And Blizzard has just shown off a number of them. Dude, that's pretty cool to see. I'm not a big Diablo... Actually, I'm not a Diablo guy at all. I don't play them. I'm not a fan. Doesn't interest me. Anything about that game. I appreciate, though, what it is, right? It's one of those... It's like Elden Ring. Dude, Elden Ring's not my game, but man, I sure appreciate what it is. My brother loves Diablo, so for him, he's going to be pretty pumped about this.
Okay.
For me, it doesn't really matter, but I know a lot of people love it.
150 dungeons. Yeah, you can imagine that. 150 dungeons is long. That's a big game.
Yes.
And it reminds me of Trove, which, again, my friend Brian played a lot of Trove, and this is a much better version of that kind of game.
That's, Trove. I haven't heard that one in a while.
You probably put 1,000 hours into that game.
Really?
A huge amount into Trove, yeah.
Oh.
I didn't know there was that big of a game behind the title, but there was.
Oh yeah, no, it's big. There's no doubt about it. If you are a fan of Diablo, hit us up over at the official ITG on Twitter. Let us know if you're excited for Diablo 4. Dude, whatever happened to the mobile game? I know Finny McGee was talking about it on our Discord, but I haven't really heard anything about it.
No, I haven't heard anything about it in several years now, but I am curious if anybody out there has any ideas for characters that you're going to run in Diablo. Well, let me know, because I know of Barbarian Spin to Win and the Necromancer Bone Wall, and that's all I really understand.
Dude, it sounds like a mobile game, the Spin to Win.
Sounds kind of, it just reminded me of the Tim Hortons roll up the rim. Which just bothers me now because it's digital. Where's the rim, Tim?
Well, dude, you roll up on your phone now, and I did it yesterday, the other day before. I got a whole 5 Tim points. Wow.
Like,
Yeah,
hey, that's 1/8 of a Timbit in today's economy.
right? Yeah, I'm like, well, I'll take the 5 points. Yeah, it's better than getting the please play again that I used to get all the time.
Oh,
I'm good
yeah,
at losing
okay,
on these
gotcha.
things. Yeah, so I'll take the 5 points and run with it. But Activision Blizzard EEOC settlement going forward. Finally, Scott,
Yes.
we're getting somewhere, right?
Is this closure?
I don't know about that, but it is something to start with. Federal regulation suit ends with $18 million fund created for those the publisher was accused of discriminating against. California regulators suit continues. Comes from Brendan Sinclair over at GamesIndustry.biz. Activision Blizzard is ready to clear one gender discrimination lawsuit off the docket. A whole one, Scott. I guess it's a start, right? As a federal court today approved the publisher's pending settlement with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. The settlement was originally reached last September, but objections from the California Department of Fair Employment and Housing, which last July had filed its own gender discrimination suit against Activision Blizzard, kept the agreement from being finalized. The judge last week indicated she was inclined to approve the deal, pending, quote, limited further argument, end quote. In today's final hearing, in some court requested revisions, quote, we are gratified that the federal court that reviewed our settlement with the EEOC is finding that it is fair, reasonable, and adequate and advance the public interest, end quote. Activision CEO, this comes from Bobby Kotick, in a statement released that yesterday afternoon. The court's approval is a vital step in our journey to ensure that everyone at Activision Blizzard always feels safe, heard, and empowered. Dude, this is where I gotta stop, because at this point, does it really matter what Bobby has to say at all for people to even care, right? Like, I'm just gonna say it out there. I don't think anybody wants to hear anything from Bobby Kotick at this point in time. It's unfortunate that he's put himself in this position, because he could have cleared it up a long time ago, but we all know it's he's actually part of the problem. So
yeah, he's failed to ensure that initially, and that's what the beginning of the issue is. I don't know if I would trust him to ensure that the fridge at work is full.
But but they are moving forward. Somebody was able to get settled, so it's a start, right? I think that's the biggest thing, is we're starting to finally see the tail end of this, and hopefully some good things come out of it, and they can get things back on track, and maybe Xbox can take over sooner than later.
Yeah, well, this is all holding that up, and I think that's going to be a real turning point once that
I think so, right?
Change of management happens, and that's,
dude, I have
Bobby Kotick can go float on the river somewhere in his yacht for the rest of his days, and the company can move on for it.
Well, that's just it. I'm excited for the future of Activision Blizzard, to see where that kind of takes off. And now under Phil Spencer's leadership, dude, there's a huge opportunity to turn everything around, right? People are excited. I know I'm excited. So we'll see. Dude, I'm also excited for Call of Duty support studio Beanox aggressively expanding with a new Montreal studio. This is cool. This comes from Nathan Birch over at WCCF Tech. Once again, Canadian studio, Scott. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that at first. This is actually what informed me about that. Beanox. I have to admire that name. That's a good name.
So, okay, throwback. Ready for this? Dude, they worked on the Spider-Man games back in the day.
Okay.
Then they lost it. Now Sony's got it. Insomniac has it. Rightfully so. Insomniac is
ended up in good hands. Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm not worried about the future of Spider-Man anymore, because Beanox was kind of a little up and down. They had some great hits and then all of a sudden kind of tapered off. But Beanox has one of Activision's secret weapons for a while now, as they have lent support to numerous Call of Duty titles, such as Modern Warfare, Black Ops Cold War, dude, one of my favorites, Warzone, and COD Mobile, really, as well as other non-Call of Duty games like Crash Bandicoot 4 and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. They also solo developed Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. There's a little throwback, right?
That's a big one for me. That's probably my standout out of all these titles.
Oh, that's fair. With so much on its plate, Beanox is looking to expand. The studio started in Quebec City, and now, like so many other developers, they're opening a Montreal location. Beanox currently has 400 employees, with 150 being hired in the last year alone.
Okay, well, they're scaling up large in a big way. Everybody's moving to Montreal. Is Montreal rivaling San Diego or San Francisco now?
Absolutely. Let's go.
It's somewhere.
No, for sure.
in some capacity for video game development. I'm not sure how it's distributed in Europe, but when it comes to North America, Montreal.
Yeah, we got a quote here. I am very excited to announce our arrival of Beanock's studio location in Montreal. We are counting on the city's great diversity of talent to build a team that will allow us to broaden our creative perspective and bring even more diversity to our development. The investment in Montreal is the next key step in our studio's growth as we continue to support the creative ambitions across the Call of Duty franchise. Dude, we're working on more Call of Duty. I'm hoping they're going to be able to expand that a little bit and branch out more.
Yeah, they did a great job with Crash. So
Yeah.
I hope they can diversify the platform a little bit, but
Would be nice, right?
they've done a good job on Call of Duty though. The titles that are listed are save mobile. I'm not so familiar with that one, but I really appreciate the latest Call of Duties.
Dude,
what they've done with them.
Mobiles, it's Call of Duty, but it's really well done. Like, I gotta give it to them. Like, that's a solid mobile game, dude. It's fun.
I remember when Nate brought it up and I kind of laughed at him, and then he showed me, and I said, "Okay, never mind."
Dude, I jumped in when it first dropped too. It was cool. It's there if it's something you're interested in. You want to play Call of Duty on the go. If you're just not at home or something and on your PC or console, there's an opportunity to take it on the run, right? But Scott, we do have a couple game announcements and things I want to get to. So why don't we get into that right now?
Sure. We have, beginning with Dead by Daylight board game. I saw a little ad for this, and I thought that was something interesting. But
right,
it is developed by Level 99 Games and inspired by the world-renowned hide and seek video game launched on Kickstarter. Hide and seek is one way to put it. Ooh.
dude.
I don't think this is a game for you, if I had to guess.
So okay, well, it's a board game, so it's a little bit different. First of all,
that might be the way to do it.
We did do a let's play. Nate finally convinced me to do a let's play of Dead by Daylight because we all know I don't like that spooky crap.
Is he the creepy witch?
It's
following you around though.
Dude, it's all just creepy. So yeah, it's definitely not my style of game, but it is cool to see that they're coming out with a board game, and if you can get into it right now, you can actually get some collector's editions and things like that, which is pretty cool, Scott.
Yeah, it seems like it is full. The collector's edition is about $100 US and has 16 killers, 17 survivors, 4 maps, upgraded components, hooks, generators. There's all sorts of things. I'm imagining a really interesting looking Monopoly board, but make it spooky.
Yeah. No, absolutely. What else?
We also have this is very interesting to my brother and myself. Call of Duty Vanguard's multiplayer will be free for 2 weeks beginning today.
There you
go. It seems to be just on its own. You can download that by itself. It has season 2, new maps. It has a bunch of stuff onto it, and I guess the idea is just to get more people into this space, try it out, and if you like it, pick it up.
There you go.
My brother and I are stuck on Cold War, so this will be welcome to me.
Nice.
We also have some Xbox Game Pass games noted. Yep. We have another site, Hue. I'm not so familiar with those two, but we do have Outpost Kaloki X, an excellent game, and MX versus ATV Alive. Those last two, I'm really excited for, actually.
Oh yeah,
I have a lot of memories of Outpost Kaloki. Yeah,
dude, you played
that? I really don't know why it's stuck in my head after a decade or more now, but it's in there.
Wow.
We have 2 full releases today, and that would be Aerial Knights Never Yield on iOS and Android. I believe.
Yep, I reviewed it. I actually reviewed that. You can check it out over at ITG Reviews on YouTube right now, as well as InsideTheGame.ca. And it'll also air on this week's episode on all of our TV platforms. So there is that.
We also have Death Stranding Director's Cut making its debut on PC now. And I have not yet played that game. I am looking forward to getting a hold of it, though.
Well, yeah, we're working on that. I don't know what happened. Yeah, dude, we'll see. It's, man, that game... not for me, but I definitely wanted to see your take on it. I'd love to see your take on it because there's a lot to talk about with that one. But Scott, like we talk here a lot, this has been ITG Daily. This is a show that brings you all the hottest in gaming news. You can always join us live over on twitch.tv/the official ITG, as well as YouTube at ITG Reviews. But if you can't join us live, hit us up later. InsideTheGame.ca, podcast services and TV streaming networks around the globe. I'm Drew, that's Scott. We'll see everybody tomorrow inside the game.